What's up everyone, welcome back to the Nocturnal game channel. Had to drop the review out of my name for a while because I only have one, but that all changes now with my review of Devil May Cry 5. So grab your popcorn and your Devil Breaker because it's going to be one hell of a fight for Dante and company. But before we get into this, I have a confession to make. This is my first DMC game. Yes, it's true, my Devil's Cherry has officially been popped, so to speak. So leading up to the release, I read into the lore and watched a few videos to try and understand exactly what the hell is going on. I'll post a link in the description if you want a refresher, or in case this is your first DMC game just like it was for me. There's also a nice story breakdown on the main menu too, so shout out to Capcom for that. I'll be scoring the game based on 5 categories on a scale from 1 to 10. The first category is comprised of story, pacing, and difficulty. The second will be made up of characters, enemy types, and bosses. The third category is graphics, sound, and the controls, how well it handles. Fourth is the overall fun factor. How fun is the game to play? Do I enjoy playing the game? The fifth category is replayability. Now that's all about if I want to play the game again after I finish it the first time. Okay, so first off, let's discuss Devil May Cry 5's story. Now I don't want to go into too many spoilers, so I'll just ask, is it good? Yes, the story is very good in my opinion. It starts off with Nero in his van in a garage, where some eerie dude comes stumbling by wanting to start shit. Needless to say, shit does get started and you're introduced to the next characters, V and Dante. Without spoiling anything, a devil plant sprouts up and is using humans and their blood, and it's up to the crew to do something about it. As for the pacing of the game, it's like a drag race with fast cars, mangled bodies, and high octane all the way through. That's not saying it's nothing but 100% action. The game allows you to breathe with cutscenes that help to develop the characters you're playing as, and just when you finally do catch your breath, you're thrusted right back into hell's asshole, slaying demons and spilling their blood. When it comes to difficulty, the game has several options to choose from. Human mode, which is equivalent to easy, Devil Hunter, which is equivalent to normal. I played on Devil Hunter difficulty and it provided just the right balance of challenge and reward. If you're looking for a harder mode though, you can choose Son of Sparta after you beat the game, which is hard. Dante Must Die, which is even harder, but if you're really looking for a challenge, choose Hell in Hell mode, which is 3 lives with 1-hit kills on your character. Overall, I give the story, pacing, and difficulty a 10 out of 10. Next up are the characters, enemy types, and bosses for DMC 5. In Devil May Cry 5, there are 3 characters you will play as throughout the story. Nero, V, and Dante, of course. Each plays differently from each other and they're varied. Nero uses sword-based attacks as well as his handy Devil Breaker, along with the pistol he has. V uses his companions to fight for him as he keeps a distance, while Dante uses several weapons and has the ability to transform into his ultimate demonic form. Nero and Dante are my personal favorites when it comes to the 3, while V at first struck me as a Marilyn Manson knockoff, but towards the end I generally liked and was engaged with his story. As for side characters, I have no gripes with any of them and generally enjoyed their banter and conversation, but my god does Nico annoy the shit out of me. Nico works with Nero and develops his Devil Breakers. She's loud, obnoxious, and has this look that just makes you want to stick a punchline breaker up her ass to fire far, far away from you. As for the enemy types in the game, they're numerous. You will get a steady stream of new enemies to fight throughout the game, with each one being nastier and more difficult than the last one. Each new enemy brings something new to the battlefield and varies up combat nicely throughout the levels. Bosses get bigger and badder. The further you go, all the fights were fun, fair, and challenging. Characters, enemy types, and bosses gets a 9 out of 10 for me. Nico was a nuisance, but overall I had too much fun with every other character to drag the score down too much. The graphics for DMC 5 are good. They weren't revolutionary, but they still look pretty good. Interiors look way better than exteriors though, and some outside locations leave room for improvement. But forget all that, because the soundtrack immerses you so well into the game with its heavy metal riffs and up-tempo hard-hitting notes that you won't care if the graphics aren't groundbreaking, and who said they should be? The controls are smooth as butter, and combos for Nero and Dante are executed with ease. The controls make this game. The fluidness needs to be appreciated. Going from sword, then comboing into another weapon is a blast. Each character handles differently and has their own combos as well as their own move list. It's all a big plus. So graphics, sound, and controls earn a 9 out of 10. The overall fun factor for DMC 5 is a 10. I had one hell of a time slicing and carving my way through the waves of monstrosities, and slaying behemoth bosses kept me wanting to kill even bigger and badder beasts. But I must say, even with how much fun DMC 5 is, I see myself playing it twice and maybe once before another DMC if they choose to make more. The different game difficulties provide a challenge, but not replayability. My replayability score is a 7 out of 10. That leaves DMC 5 with a final overall score of a 9 out of 10. It was a damn good game. I recommend going out and buying Devil May Cry 5 if you love action, epic stories with big epic bosses, badass weapons, blood, and if you can get over some of the cringe, especially that dancing scene. Christ, I cringed in my chair at like 4 a.m. in the morning. It was pretty bad, at least for me. Maybe some of the DMC fans are used to that kind of stuff, but for someone just coming into the franchise, it was a little weird to me. But that's it for this video and this review. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next Nocturnal game upload.